welcome to part 3 of my EVE Online Tips for New Players series. Now, if I'm a little bit out of sync here, it's because I already recorded this and my microphone was turned off at the time, so I'm having to do post-commentary to fix it, because EVE is not something that has an undo. You can't just undo things and step back. So, anyway, we're picking up where the last video left off, and if you haven't seen the first 2 videos in the series, there is a link in the description for the series playlist, and I strongly advise that you watch these in order, especially if you are completely new to EVE, because each video assumes that you know what was presented in the previous ones. Alright, so picking up where we left off at the first mission, having arrived back at the station, or actually the end of the second mission, excuse me, and we're clicking next here, and now we're going to replace the old repair module with a much better one, and it's saying here to go up to the hangar and open the inventory, and here we go. Inventory open. There's nothing found in here, and I was momentarily confused because something that was supposed to be in there isn't in there, and in a couple of seconds you see, okay, I've got the old civilian armor repairer, and we're supposed to get a new module, but I wasn't paying attention to the fact that right over here on the right hand side of the screen, it still says accepted from the last mission, because I hadn't gone to the point of actually hitting complete mission. And here I'm showing the filters in the inventory, because you bring this filter thing up and you can filter what's showing in the item hanger, which is very handy when you've got hundreds of items in the item hanger. You can have it show particular items that's in there and make it easier to find something that you're looking for. And I think it's about here that I finally realized that I hadn't hit complete mission. So I'm hitting complete mission, and now that new item is in the item hanger, and I'll be fitting the small armor repairer, and okay, we're going to fit the new module to the ship, bring up the fittings service here, and there's several ways that you can do this. You can take the old module and you can just drag it out and drop it in the item hanger, or you can click that little button right there to unfit the module, and it appears in the item hanger. And there's the new module to put in. You click fit to active ship, and that puts it in place. And here I was doing a comparison of the old one versus the new one, and here's the information on the old one, the attributes of it. And scrolling down, I find the amount of armor hit points repaired, which is at the bottom of the list, and it took me a second to find it. I was talking about some of these other attributes that it has, but the important one is armor hit points repaired, 6 hit points per cycle. And then I open up the info sheet for the new module and show that it repairs much more. So, okay, we'll close that window and show info on the new module. Armor hit points repaired, 79.35. So it is a much better module. And there's other variations on the variations tab up here. Other variations of the unit that perform better, cost more, and may require more training, more skill training, and may in fact actually require additional skills, certainly a higher level of skill training, the repair skill. And here we're looking at the information for the small accommodation vestment, which is a higher tech item, and it repairs 83 hit points per cycle. Okay, having gotten finished with that. Go back to what we're doing here in this aura mission thing. Tells you how to do that. Finding your skills on the skill sheet, because you'll recall in the last video, during what we were doing, the skill that we started set training to begin with completed. And you always, always, always want to have skills actively training, because there are so many skills in EVE Online. And I managed to hit the wrong button a couple of times. So we close the unnecessary windows. And to get to the character sheet, you click on your portrait on the upper left-hand corner. And I don't know why the portrait's not showing, but it's there. And there are many different things you can look at on the character sheet. Your descriptions, whether you have jump clones, your augmentations, biography. And this biography, by the way, is something that you can put in yourself. Up to 1,000 characters. You write anything you want in there. Employment history, what corporations you've worked for, standings, which right now you don't have very many standings. Just with Aura and the Center for Advanced Studies, you get standings with other corporations and players and agents over time as you encounter other people. And right now nobody dislikes you. Security status, no changes. You don't have any kill rights. Under certain conditions you can get the right to kill other players, like for example if they attack you. And here's your combat log. But the main thing here is the tutorial is sending us up to skills. And open the skill sheet, and it's walking you through how to get the next skill training. So we click next here. At the locate the spaceship command section, click that to open it up and find the frigate skill for your faction. So you scroll down, and Galente frigate, which is currently at level 2, we're going to set that training to level 3. And it's going to take 7 hours, 19 minutes, and some odd seconds to complete that training. And as I've said before, training continues whether you're online or not. It always continues, so you want to have enough stuff scheduled to make sure that the training is always going. So we're going to right-click on that and add that to the training queue. Open up the training queue, and there it is. And the Aura tutorial is then going to tell you to add another skill to the training queue. Skills can be added to the training queue regardless of how long they take, and some can take as long as 20 or 30 days. But you can add stuff to the queue so long as many skills as you want to the queue, so long as they start within the next 24 hours. And right now this one's going to end in 7 hours and 18 minutes, and we're going to add another one that will go longer than that. And again, I'm reading this material right here in the Aura tutorial, which I can't do right now because in the video editor it's too small. So we're going to add this skill, the next level of it, to the end of the training queue. So now it will train up to level 4, which will improve the skill at operating Galente frigates. And a frigate is the smallest class of ship, aside from shuttles, which really the only reason you'd ever want to use a shuttle is if you wanted to just go quickly from one place to another without needing to bring anything with you, because shuttles don't have hardly any cargo capacity. And now we're getting ready to set a destination to another star system because we have another mission to accept. And then close that, apply the changes, and then close the character sheet. And now start conversation with Aura to get on to the next mission, which is going to be to recover the pilot certification documents. So we're going to go out to another location in another system, recover the documents, and then come back here to this system. We've set the destination for the new place, the place we're going. Accept the mission. Close the mission dialog. and then hit next on the tutorial. To find the first stargate in the route, of course we have to undock first, but I'm going through the text here, and it is important to read all of this. I know a lot of people don't like to do an awful lot of reading, but with EVE Online, reading the details is kind of important. You learn a lot that way. It's very helpful. And you can avoid a lot of confusion if you do that. So now we're undocking, heading out into space. Scroll back a little bit, because the first time you undock after you log in, you get this default zoom in where you're right on top of the ship. And here's the destination. As you recall, since it's a set destination, it's highlighted in yellow on the overview here. And at this point, I'm giving a little tip about how, or one of the ways that you can customize things in EVE Online is the default view has the target that you currently have selected way over here on the upper left corner of the screen like that. I personally like to have it closer to the center, and so what you do is you click on this camera control here, and then click on this button immediately to the right, custom tracking position. You grab this little box and pull that in toward the center, but not quite to the center of the screen. And in my opinion, I think that gives a much better angle on the view. Naturally, you can do that or not do that as you choose, because it is an individual preference. So now that that's taken care of, now the tutorial talks about using the radial menus. I don't. Instead, I select my destination here in the overview, and then I go up above there to hit jump. And now we're warping through to the next stargate, through the Ioletta stargate, which will be taking us into the Ioletta star system, which is where we have to go, somewhere in that system, to pick up that pilot certification. And here we are arriving at the stargate, having traveled almost, 40-something astronomical units, which is 40-something times the distance of the Earth, between the Earth and the Sun. That's a long ways. So we jump through the gate, get into the next system, click next, and this is the point where I realized my microphone was turned off, and so we'll now be going back to that recording. Okay. What you've just been listening to is a bunch of post commentary I did because I forgot to turn my microphone on. That is really annoying. I hate it when I do that. But it happens. Okay, we've jumped through. We're going to click next. And once you've jumped to your destination system, you need to warp to another mission location to pick up your papers. As before, find your mission under the Agent Missions panel, expand it, and click Warp to Location. Click Next after you arrive at your mission location. Okay, so we go over here to Agent Missions, click that, set destination, and all right, I'm back. I had a phone call. This has been a banner morning for recording. First I forget to turn my microphone on, and then I have a phone call. Anyway, let's get back to getting this done. We've arrived at the Ioletta gate, on the Ioletta side of the gate, and we're going to warp to our mission location. As before, we go up here to Agent Missions, and come down here and select Warp to Location.
Warp drive active.
Ship turns and accelerates, and let's just go ahead and adjust our view so we can see where we're going. And we're warping ahead. Heading for our destination. The warp bubble will collapse here in just a little bit. here we're arriving. Okay, now we click next. Retrieving the mission objective from the Academy office. So there's the Academy office, and we're going to find them right here. Okay, Calente Academy office. It's already selected on the overview, and so we're going to loot from the structure. And this is once again talking about the radial menu that I don't use. This is selected, so we have the selected item menu here, and we just click open cargo. The ship will then approach the Academy office, and when we're within 2,500 meters, it will open the inventory of the Academy office, and we can retrieve that certificate. Closing in. Okay, I'm going to close that. 4,500. 3,500. Okay, we're almost there. And we hit loot all. There's our pilot certification. Close that. Click next. And collisions in EVE don't really mean much. They don't damage the ship. You just bounce off of it. I'm going to hit stop my ship, which you can also do with control space. Alright. Ordering the camera to focus on other objects in space. You can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel. And I don't know why it's talking about this. I think it already did. You can select an object and use the look at function. Like, for example, the civilian Caldari battleship Scorpion. Come up here and hit look at, and it puts the camera on the target ship. And this is a civilian Caldari battleship Scorpion. Why it would be a civilian battleship floating there, I don't know. Okay, to go back to normal, we hit X, and that puts us looking at our own ship. And let's see, there's a Federation freighter vessel, so we'll go ahead and do a look at that. And I believe that's an obelisk. Let's show info. Federation freighter vessel. It doesn't say, but that looks like an obelisk to me, which is one class of freighter ships. And click next when you had a look around. Reset the camera. Using show info to find more information. Like, for example, on your own ship, you can go show it, right click on it, show info, and it tells you all kinds of stuff about your ship. You've got the initial traits. It's primarily fitted with small modules. It hulls with good damage and recommended for heavy frontline brawling, disruption, able to field debilitating systems, and so on. The important things here, the roll bonuses: 10% to small hybrid turret damage, plus 20% to drone hit points, plus 15% to remote sensor dampener effectiveness, 15% bonus to armor repair amount. There's the official description of it, the various attributes of the ship, and so on. Not that I think in most cases you would be taking a Velator into combat, although it has been done. And fitting shows how much CPU and power grid it has versus what is in use. The number of turret hard points and the number of launcher hard points. The high power slots, it has 2. Light electron blaster is fitted with 140 antimatter charge S. It has 2 medium slots, none of them are fitted right now. Low power slots, it has 2. One of them is fitted with a small armor repairer. The skill requirements required in order to fly it, and this over here is for mastery. And this is like for level 1 mastery, you would have to have all of these skills trained to the level indicated. Green check mark means the skill is trained at the required level. The red means that it's not trained. This circle here means that it's partially trained, but not at the required level. You'd have to have gunnery level 3 to make this into a green check mark, for example. And to get up here, this basically means you need a whole bunch of skills trained up to level 5, which I guarantee you would take a while. See, as I mouse over each one, it's telling me how much time it would take to train that. And to get level 5 mastery on this Velator class of ship, it would take 689 days, 17 hours. That's a long time. But in doing that, in getting all of these skills trained to level 5, you would find yourself with the ability to fly many, many other ships. Okay, and also view market details. You can see how much they're going for on the market. And right now, people are selling them for around 900. One person's selling it for 600 and some. And here on the market, there's people that will buy them for 60. One person that will buy them for 66 ISK, and everybody else is spending buying them for like 5 ISK, and 2 people for 61 cents. You know, it's a not very powerful class of ship. It's a rookie ship. You get them for free if you dock at a station when you don't have a ship, just your pod, and so on. So we go ahead and click next. And apparently there's no text here, so we'll go back and next. Interesting. Oh, I lost connection. Okay, having lost connection, and it's almost a good thing that that happened, because what happens when you lose connection is EVE will warp your ship some insane distance away from where you were, and then it will go offline in a safe sort of way. And you know, after about a minute or so, it will take it out of the game. And then when you reconnect, it will warp you back to where you were when you lost connection. Okay, so now we go ahead and click next, as I was trying to do before. Using show info elsewhere in the interface, anywhere you see the I button on your interface, you can click it to get info window for that item that is selected. Item, organization, or location. Information you get will vary depending on what you're inspecting. This is a standard way to find out more about things you're interested in. Alright, next. Using the Interbus Ship Identification System. All ships you see here can be trained for and ultimately acquired as your skills, experience, and income as an EVE pilot grow. New ships are not equal to level progression in New Eden. Think of them more as tools to help you specialize in whatever activity you want to pursue. If you wish to know more about the vessels available to you to fly and the various activities they allow you to undertake, don't hesitate to have a look at the Interbus Ship Identification System, which is known as ISIS, located on the Neocom. We won't explain its details in the tutorial, so feel free to skim through it at your leisure. And the way you do that, go ahead and get rid of that. Come over here and click on this icon, and this brings up ISIS. And you can scroll up in and out, and this shows you every ship in the game. Like, for example, right now we're looking at ships in the Galente Federation. Mouse over here, here's a Navitas, and it shows you some basic information on it. Click on that, and it brings up the show info for that ship. You get the description, its traits, attributes, fitting requirements. Like, it's got 3 high power slots, 3 medium slots, 3 low slots, and 3 rig slots, which we'll get to eventually. The requirements needed to fly it: you need Galente Frigate 1 and Spaceship Command 1. There's the mastery thing. You can have level 1 mastery for this ship in 5 hours and 8 minutes if you have the right skills available to train, and so on. We can come over here and let's see. Let's have a look here. The Celestis. And this is a cruiser, and it gets a bonus for remote sensor dampening, both effectiveness and optimal range and fall off. And you can click on these icons here, by the way, to get a larger picture, and you can stretch that out and make it bigger, and you can look at the ship in greater detail that way if you want. Okay, we'll close that, and let's see. And here we go. EOS. Okay, here's one. I actually have one of these. Myrmidon, Galente battle cruiser. It's got a 10% bonus for drone hit points and damage, 7.5% bonus for armor repair amount, and it can fit warfare link modules. Now if I click on this, and here's some information about it, some lore history basically. There's its traits information again, attributes. It can carry 200 cubic meters worth of drones. It has a 400 cubic meter cargo hold, 4,750 hit points for the structure. And let's see. This is things like inertia modifiers, armor hit points, shield capacity, shield recharge times, capacitor capacity, how long the capacitor takes to recharge, targeting range. It can lock 7 targets at one time. Scan resolution, maximum velocity 145 meters per second. And that's with without bonuses and other modules to help that. And the ship warp speed is 2.5 AU per second. We click on the picture and bring that up. And that's a fairly impressive looking ship. I like it. Looks good. It's effective, especially when you get beyond the very basic skills needed to fly it. And there's some of the larger ships in the game. Okay, here's one. Anshar. This is a jump freighter. It's a huge ship that can jump from one system to another using a jump engine and a lot of fuel instead of actually having to use a stargate. And here's the Tech 1 version of that ship, the Obelisk, which is a huge freighter. Let's see, look at the attributes. Capacity, 440,000 cubic meters of cargo space available in this thing. And that's before any bonuses and such are applied to it. Okay, and we'll go ahead and click this and turn off ISIS. And we'll go ahead and click next. And we'll head back to base and complete the mission. Finding mission information in the journal. That's important too. This here is the journal. Click that. And there are several tabs up here for agents, expeditions, contracts, planetary launches, epic journal, and incursions. And we'll go over here to the agent tab. And missions is selected by default. And here's the current mission. We can right click on that and read the details, or double click, either way. Get rid of this. And there's our mission details again. Just like you can get it from here and hit read details. And it reminds you what the objectives are, the place you're going, the item you need to pick up, in this case the pilot certification document. And so click the mission I'll click next when we've done this. Select a destination from the mission journal. Got a drop-off location. That's where we're going. So we're going to right-click on that and hit Set Destination. And then we click Next down here. Now the destination is set. Jump back through the Stargate. Okay, it's going to be the one here with the yellow bracket. Click there on the overview to highlight it. Go ahead and close these things. We don't need to keep them open. And we go up here and hit Jump.
Warp drive active.
And now we're headed back to the station. We're going to dock and complete the mission. And once we're far enough away, all those smaller things disappear off the thing because we're no longer on grid with them. They're no longer in the same area. And that clears up the overview. And one thing I like to do when traveling is, you see these different columns, you can sort them. You know, say for example I click the distance tab like this, and now I've got it sorted so that the farther away something is, the closer it is to the top. And when traveling, I like to do that because it puts the next system in my route close to the top of the list and makes it easier to find. Okay, I don't know what that was all about. I'm once again being warped back to where I was when I crashed. I don't know why that happened, but honestly, I have to say that the EvE client hardly ever crashes. I don't know why it did, but it's a really actually quite rare occurrence for me. Alright, we've got to select the next point in our trip and click dock.
Warp drive active.
Take us back to the station where we will complete the mission. And then I believe after that there is one more which will take us to the corporate station that we're going to be starting out with the career tutorials. And once this video series gets to that point, I will be finished with this character, because I have another character that I want to bring up anyway, and it's already at the point where it's sitting at the beginning of the career tutorials, and I'll be continuing with that character. This one was only a temporary, which is why I gave it that really goofy little name of 314-2859. Okay, we're back at the station, we're docking.
Docking request accepted.
Okay, as before, we go over to the agent that has the accepted on it so that we can get our mission details up, and we hit complete mission. Mission is completed. You've graduated from the pilot certification course. I'll be providing you with some basic information on where to go. Request a new mission whenever you're ready. Alright, now we go down here, we hit next. Now that you've covered the basics of capsule piloting, you're ready for some advanced training courses. Each course covers a particular area of specialization, such as asteroid mining or advanced combat tactics. These courses are taught by agents located not far from here, and they'll give you a chance to try out different professions before you decide which one you want to explore further. When you're ready, request and accept a new mission from me, and I'll explain how to prepare for it. Click next when you've accepted the next mission. Okay, so we'll go over here and request mission. Having completed the basic training, now you're ready for something more involving. Number of career training agents not far from here, and who can teach you about all the various activities and careers available to you. They'll get you hands-on training and experience with everything from asteroid mining to deep space exploration. When you're ready, I'll refer to you there. You should take everything else with you as well, since you probably won't be coming back here afterwards. Okay. Taking clearance papers, the pickup location, which is here, to the drop location, which is Clavon 7, Moon 11, Center for Advanced Study School. So we will accept the mission. And click next when you've accepted the mission. Go ahead. How to load items for a courier mission. And that's basically what this mission is. So we open up the item hanger, and we've got clearance papers, and we've got the civilian armor repairer. I'm going to highlight these things, pick them up, and drop them into the Velator's cargo hold. Okay. And this is right here showing how to do it. It's the ship that's named after you, and you can rename it to whatever else you want. You just right click on it and select change name, and you can change that thing to whatever you want. I'm not going to bother right now though. You drag the clearance papers onto the ship name, and they'll be moved into the ship's cargo hold. And click next when you've done that. Okay, click next. The agents who can teach you about career specialization are located a few jumps from this location. You'll need to travel through multiple star systems to reach them. In the mission window, you'll see the hyperlinked name of the star system you have to travel to. It's listed as a drop-off location. Right-click and set destination. So that's right here, the drop-off location. Right-click, set destination. Shows up on your route. It's a 3-jump trip. And now it's time to undock. Okay, we've got everything out of our item hanger. And like she said, we probably won't be coming back. So we're going to close that and undock. Okay, here we are. Next, to reach your destination, so you cross several star systems. Because you've set end coordinates, you can activate your autopilot, and that's this right here. And I've already talked about the autopilot and how bad of an idea it is to use it. I strongly recommend never using the autopilot. Yes, using the autopilot will allow you to have the ship take off and go travel somewhere without you having to sit right there. The problem is, it's pretty easy to tell when somebody's using the autopilot, and somebody using the autopilot, if they happen to be carrying any kind of valuable stuff, very likely, sooner or later, somebody is going to spot that and attack your ship and blow it up, and so on. And you don't want that to happen if you can avoid it. Take several minutes to reach the destination, so prepare some additional reading material while you travel. Okay, I'm not going to engage the autopilot like it says to here. Although if you want to for this one flight, go ahead. And this would be the only time that it would be considered okay to use the autopilot. Instead, I'm going to click the next spot on the route, and I'm going to click jump. Because I can read this stuff and pay attention to this too, and click my next destinations and jump through them as I get to them. Click next. And this is learning about clones. It says danger may be omnipresent, but death is not the end. Thanks to the wonders of cloning technology, you will be reborn at your registered cloning facility on a new frigate, and a new frigate will be issued to you. You will unfortunately lose any implants you've plugged into your head. Implants we'll get to. Remember, the destruction of your ship does not mean immediate death. Your new clone will only be activated if your pod is also destroyed. Be aware that basic clone model is free, but only covers a certain number of skill points, unless you had invested in a clone of higher quality. You may therefore lose skill points upon death. I suggest you make a habit of clicking the medical button on your station interface every now and then, and upgrading your clone if necessary. These upgrades are one-time use only, so you would be wise to upgrade your clone once again right after each death. Alright, now what that's talking about, you go over here to the character sheet, bring this up. And here we've got, it shows how many skill points we have. 56,131. Clone, find here, clone grade alpha, 900,000. The clone grade alpha will hold up to 900,000 skill points. If you have more skill points than that and die with that kind of a clone, then your skill points would drop back down to 900,000, and you'd lose skills in some things. You would lose some levels and skills. And when we get to the station, I can show you about how to upgrade the clone. Alright, and we click next. We're done reading about clones. Let's also click here for the next Stargate in a trip, and click jump. Learning about corporations. Most capsuleers eventually end up joining a fully capsuleer-run corporation, because players can form and run corporations. This will give you the support and expertise of experienced players who can teach you the ropes far more quickly than even I can. They can provide invaluable assistance to you no matter what kind of activity you're aiming for. And if you're of a warlike mind, they're the first best step for you to get involved in one of the many dangerous conflicts in New Eden. If you want to see what corporations are available for Capsuleers, go to your corporation window. From your neocom on the left, select the recruitment tab and search based on the criteria that best fit you. Don't apply just yet though. The optional business tutorial, which you'll gain access to later, has an entire section on running corporations. Alright, and that's this right here. This is the corporations window, and your recruitment tab, there's options there to select for searching for different corporations, and you go over here, you can apply to the corporations and so on. But my personal advice is, and see, here's a list of corporations that meet whatever these settings are. My personal advice about corporations is don't join a player corporation right off the bat unless you're actually already an experienced player and you're making a new character to do something specific. If you're a new player, you're first getting started in EVE, I would hold off on doing a player corporation until at least finishing the career tutorials, which we're about to get to. Alright, next stop on the route is Colonon. It's selected, we hit jump, and we're going on. We're finished reading about corporations. Next, learning about the market. While there is an entirely separate tutorial that covers business, I do suggest you take a quick look at the market. Aside from being a great place to make money from all the loot you've collected, it offers an extensive list of available items to all Capsuleers and lets you easily compare those items in order to pick the best one for you. You might want to uncheck show only available items at the bottom in order to see the full collection. So this market, this item icon right here is the market. Open it up, go ahead and close that little pointer, and there is all sorts of things in here. If we look at ships, there's the different classes, say for example cruisers and advanced cruisers, and say heavy assault cruisers, and say we want to look at Galente heavy assault cruisers, and there's two items listed there, the Demos and the Ishtar. Say we click on the Demos, and here it shows them in the market for this region. Now mind you, each region will have different market information. It is a regional market, but this region that we're in right here, which is Verge Vendor, the Demos, people are selling it for 195 million, and there's somebody here willing to buy one for 170 million. Somebody else will buy one for 70 million. Good luck getting that price. And anyway, but there's like industrial ships, rookie ships, mining barges. Let's see. Okay, frigate, standard frigates, ore frigate, Venture, which is a mining frigate. I'll go and click on this. I rather like this ship. It is a very good mining ship, and during the career agent tutorials they will give you 2 of them. Another reason to do the tutorials. Alright, let's close that for a quick look at the market. Go ahead and click next, and let's get the next spot on the destination, which is a square box. That is the station, the Center for Advanced Studies School. Click jump, or dock actually.
Warp drive active.
And we're going to warp to the station, and the warp is going to take us right through this planet, which is absolutely a cool animation as all get out. Basically you're warping through in some kind of subspace that may physically go through the same location as a planet, but it's not in normal space, and therefore there is no collision or crash or anything like that. So here we are arriving at the Center for Advanced Studies School, and this is where, if you decide to do all of the career agent missions, and I recommend that you do, this is where you will spend most of the next several days, or however long it takes you to do the missions, as you work through this stuff. Alright, okay, click next when you complete it. Okay, now we gotta see agents of interest. Aura is not in this location, but she's an agent of interest because we have an open mission. Click that. we complete the mission. You notice she disappears from the list. And we'll go ahead and close this. Click next here. All right, and it brings up this. All right, what? Yeah. Okay, yes, I thought I'd click that one twice. It brings this up, which is the Advancing in New Eden Careers. This is talking about the career missions. These are agents available in this station that will give you missions that will talk about the various careers. And you can take these courses in any order, and since you have these agents right here, you don't actually need this window open. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. Close career funnel, and you can get to it again through the help window. Let's see, that's the help window, and we go to tutorials. General, and there's all sorts of stuff on here, but really your agents are right here in this station. Okay, and at this point you would decide which one of these to start on, and you click next here. Well done, and with that our work together is done. You now understand the basics of piloting, and you're a fully qualified capsuleer. Congratulations. I wish you luck on the journey you've just begun. It's a dangerous world that you've stepped into. Some of the capsuleers out there are truly cutthroat, while others are genuinely altruistic, and will go out of their way to help you if you ask them. A lot of your success will depend on being able to tell the difference. Remember that if you're ever lost, you can always return to the tutorials and the help button on the Neocom. The support tabs offers a wide range of assistance, including the button to reopen the career agents screen. Okay, so we'll hit that and we'll look up here on the support tab. Let's see, you've got a help chat channel. Click that to join the help chat. Support tickets if you're having problems with gameplay and technical issues. The EveLopedia, which is a Wikipedia-like kind of thing specifically about EVE. Career image right here. Click this, and this one brings that back up to show the career agents. Yes, I want to close it. And right here, if you find a bug, you can report it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close that. And we'll get rid of that. All right. And that's it right there. Click done when you finish the tutorial. Finish with the tutorial. And that is the end of the learning how to do things tutorial that gets you started in EVE. The next thing is going to involve one of these career agents. Now, it does say that you can do them in any order, and you can. You can do some of this and some of that and some of this. You can go back and forth, as long as you complete each mission. Personally, what I would recommend is you start with exploration. It's a 5-mission arc. There's 5 missions that shows you the basic of exploration. We'll go into that. And then there's business, industry, military, and advanced military. Now, the only actual real set hard thing is that before doing advanced military, you would want to do career military first before doing advanced military. And we'll get into those missions with that other character that I'm actually bringing up to do something with that has not done this stuff yet. And we'll get all into that in the next video. Meanwhile, if you're thinking about getting started into EVE Online, there's a link in the description that will get you a 21-day free trial as opposed to just the default 14-day free trial. And if you decide to upgrade that trial into a paid subscription at any time during the free trial, you can do that, and it will add 30 days of game time to your account for a total of 51 days. And if you do that, send me an EVE mail to Testicles Aldent and let me know that you did that and when you did that, and I will send you a Welcome to EVE Online gift. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.